Hello, guys.
Ta-da.
Welcome back to Seeded Sports. Today we have with us Eshan Kokiloo. हमारे in-house football expert हैं ये और हमारे in-house football coach हैं ये.
No
So from time
expert,
to
no
time,
expert.
he's just trying to be humble, guys. So
No,
whenever
no,
we
no.
need expert advice, we call Eshan on board. Thank you so much, Eshan, for joining us.
Any day, any day. Thank you for having me, Akshat, as always.
Ishan, have you been able to recover from the Zuby, Zuby, Zuby thing?
यार मतलब वही है like I mean मैंने just अभी just before going live actually I was just thinking that like every like Zubimendi kind of made us forget that we were in for Calafiori as well. And we really wanted him to come for that left centre back spot as well. And as soon as Arsenal took over, and we kind of totally forgot about it because Zubimendi came into the picture, and also preseason friendly started, and everybody was kind of impressed with Konsa a lot, and of course Neoni also came into the fray, and everybody kind of forgot what happened with Calafiori. And I was like, the same thing is going to happen with in a way with Zubimendi also as soon as the season starts. But yeah, kya bolu? Like I have no words left now. Like this is like so bad planning. Like leave everything else. Like such bad planning. Like matlab, when you know that he's not going to Barca or Madrid, which is like a Spanish player's benchmark dream, whatever you want to call it. So on what basis are you making sure that he's going to come to an English club first, and
Yeah.
that to Liverpool? Like I'm not like disrespecting the club or anything, but Liverpool is not
You can't even
one
do
of
that. Like you are one of us. So how can you?
yeah. So no, but I'm trying to say like a lot of people in the past have kind of not chosen Liverpool purely because the weather isn't great. And that is a fact, right? It's not the best of weathers. And this guy comes from a very sunny and beautiful weather place. So this also plays a huge role in people deciding whether they want to come or not. And I just feel like यार बैकअप कुछ तो होना चाहिए ना, लाइक कुछ तो बैकअप आपके पास होना चाहिए, अगर नहीं है तो मतलब
Absolutely.
how like why are you a sporting director, or why you like having this operation? And I understand that
Sorry,
a
I
lot of
keep
this
taking you.
also it also depends upon the ownership, which I think is the most important thing. I don't think it's just the sporting director or Edwards or whatever. Like I think it's also very, very, very dependent upon the sporting director. Sorry, the ownership, because at the end, अगर आप उतना पैसा देने को तैयार नहीं हो जितना मतलब कोई प्लेयर मांग रहा है, तो you can only do much.
Yeah.
So I think it's somewhere I think either Edwards or Hughes has to pressure the management ki no, we have to spend. If we have to pay somebody's wages, say 20, 30, 50,000 extra per week, pay it, because it's a matter of millions in the end then. Like with it,
Yeah.
would you want to see the club not play in the Champions League again? Do you want to see play in the Europa League again like we did last season? Because that's a huge revenue gap. I
Yeah.
mean, just to save that amount of money, would you rather gamble like this? I mean, again, it's just stupid. And like I read somewhere also, uh, I think either Melissa Reddy or Joyce tweeted this, that the management feels that there's still a lot of juice left in the squad, and
Yeah.
Slot can take out a lot. अरे यार कितना जूस भाई,
And apparently
कितना जूस
academy
निकल
kids also.
हाँ आई मीन आई गेट इट, बट अगेन वही बात आती है ना, आप एकेडमी किड्स को प्लेटफॉर्म दे रहे हो, ठीक है, अच्छी बात है, बहुत बढ़िया चीज है, बट अगेन if you see all academy kids who have come under Klopp, whether it's in Dortmund, whether it's at Liverpool,
Hmm.
everybody has been phased in slowly and steadily, right? Like even when Trent came in, there were times when even Milner played there as a
Hmm.
right back. And when Klein got fit, I think Klein also played a few games back there, because it's very important to first understand that. the younger player doesn't get that much pressurized,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because that pressure, if a player has a bad game in that pressure, it could really, like, like his
Yeah,
confidence can be shot down completely.
completely,
And
yes.
at the same time, if he has like 5 good games, he'll be on top of the world thinking that he's the best player.
Yeah,
Fabio Carvalho. Fabio Carvalho. So it's like that. It's as simple as that. Like there is a huge mental issue of it, which people have to understand, and these management people have to understand. Just say कि हाँ academy के बच्चे अच्छे हैं उनको खिलाओ ऐसे नहीं चल सकता है.
हाँ। और कितनी अकेडमी किड्स जिनको हम लास्ट सीजन में देख रहे थे, दे आर डूइंग वेल, उनको लोन आउट करने की बात हो रही है। सो आई मीन क्या मतलब हम हर साल ऐसे एक्सपेरिमेंट करेंगे कि इस साल तुम्हारा बैच पास आउट कर रहा है, लेट्स सी हाउ विल
हाँ,
यू परफॉर्म, बेस्ट बेसिस ऑन दैट वी विल
I
लोन यू
I
आउट।
I I swear it just doesn't make sense to me, right? Like, for example, like now we have Bacetic back. Somehow he's like fit now, and his like abnormal growth, which has kind of now stopped. We have him back, and we know he can perform at the PL level. We know he can
Yeah,
perform at the Champions League level. Why are you looking to loan him out? Like, I think he's the one academy player who should be uh, in the squad each match day, right? And you're trying to loan him out. I mean, again, I don't know how much truth there is in these rumors or whatever,
yeah, again,
but
yeah,
if you're really looking to loan out this kid, then there's something seriously wrong. Like seriously wrong. Like I
yeah,
can still somehow understand why Bobby Clark is being sold. I mean, I understand somewhere, right? I would have still preferred a loan, but I still deep down दिल
hmm,
पे पत्थर रख के मैं बोल दूंगा चलो ठीक है पैसे
hmm,
निकालने हैं बाय बैक रख लो ठीक है कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है बट बजटेज वाला तो यार सर के ऊपर से जा रहा है
same.
मतलब बिल्कुल समझ नहीं आ रही है वो तो मेरे को like I would like personally if you ask me I would have still kept dance uh,
Ditto.
right right I would have still kept dance knowing Jota कितना injured होता है and knowing you will have to rest Darwin right like he can't
Yeah.
play all games. And if like हमारा बैकअप है टू प्ले गैक्पो एज अ फॉल्स नाइन तो वो भी ठीक है फिर मतलब क्या बोलूं आप उसको लेफ्ट विंग भी खिलाओगे स्ट्राइकर भी खिलाओगे वापस थक जाएगा वापस गंदा फॉर्म आएगा वापस लोग गाली देंगे वही वही साइकिल चलता रहेगा बस
वही साइकिल चल रहेगा एग्जैक्टली।
Yeah.
जब तक पूरी तरीके से हम निचोड़ नहीं देते इस करंट स्क्वाड को
सही में मतलब
तब तक
क्या
हम छोड़ेंगे नहीं।
सही
Yeah,
में
इस
मतलब
पे I want to quickly also take us uh, to the just a second, I just want to
yes
uh
this
no,
is the Sevilla
sorry
lineup.
guys, I need to just figure out how if
Okay.
how am I supposed to change the tab?
I have no idea. I have
Uh,
never done this
wait,
in the
I'm
back
just
end
trying
or
to figure
anything.
that out. Wait a second, I'll figure
Yeah,
that
yeah,
out.
go ahead, go
Just
ahead.
a second. Present, share screen. This, I'll share this. Yes. So now we have a list of कि हमारे कॉन्ट्रैक्ट कब एक्सपायर हो रहे हैं, क्योंकि कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एक्सटेंशन ही एक बहुत ही बड़ा मुद्दा है जो हमने अभी तक सॉर्ट नहीं किया है। एटलीस्ट लाइक
Yes.
ब्रूनो आल्सो साइंड एन एक्सटेंशन टुडे।
Yep.
कोल पामर हैज बीन गिवन अ मैसिव एक्सटेंशन, व्हाट आर वी डूइंग?
I
VVD's contract is till 2025, Salah
yeah,
next year, Trent,
next year.
Phillips, all of these people. I mean, guys, see the list. Robbo 2026. चलो 2026 हम नहीं बात कर सकते, but 2025 um, what are we doing with contract extensions?
No idea. I think last week Van Dijk said something that there has been no talks about contract extension with him, which is just surprising.
Yeah,
Like I like I understand that he's what 33, I think now, but he's still the best. He is still the best. If okay, if not the best, then at least one of the best in the world. Like I would still rate him in the top 3, even if you want to, like anybody
and a
wants to.
captain and vice captain. there will be a dearth of captaincy. I mean,
Yeah,
leadership, right?
and I still in a way kind of uh, understand, okay, why Salah ka contract is thoda sa being delayed. I
Yeah.
get that. Probably they want to see how his fitness levels are into the season and then probably get into those conversations. But Trent and Van Dyke, these are like the simplest of decisions which you have to make. And like, or maybe like again, like I don't know, but maybe they are waiting for the transfer window to get over so that, they're done with one thing and then get on to the contract extensions.
Hmm.
But again, it shouldn't be coming to this point that we are
Yeah.
entering the season and our captain, our vice captain, one of the two most standout players of the Klopp era are in their last year. Like, I mean, I don't know how the players would feel about it. Like the players themselves, they'll be
Exactly.
feeling that like अगर हमारे captain vice captain को contract नहीं मिल रहा तो हमें मिलेगा क्या? Will we be in like given the right deals when we play good for the club?
Yeah.
And like Van Dijk and Trent would be feeling similar, like we have done everything we can for the club, and the club maybe is not serious, or they
Yep.
don't want to pay us as much as we should be, or whatever. Like, this is something which is,
हम पैसे
I
खाए
think, just.
हैं जैसे स्टार्टअप आप ज्वाइन करो ना तो एक फियर होता है कि कब बंद
हाँ,
हो जाएगी, कब
हाँ,
बंद हो जाएगी
हाँ।
जितना होता है अभी ले लो वो वैसा ही फील है ना कि
सही है, सही
क्या
में,
ही कर सकते
सही में।
हैं
हाँ यार,
yes.
ये मतलब बहुत ही घटिया सिचुएशन है, मतलब होना ही नहीं चाहिए था इस सिचुएशन में कभी भी।
Yeah, a lot of people have joined us. Thank you so much, guys, whoever have joined us. Please like the stream
Welcome. Yes.
if you like the content here, and because more people will get to know, that's how YouTube's algorithm works. धीरे धीरे थोड़े
Yes.
comments लेंगे हम सारे एक साथ नहीं ले सकते because
Yes.
the idea of today's podcast is also to understand कि alternatives क्या है हमारे पास, क्योंकि
Hmm,
clearly लग नहीं रहा है कि हम किसी प्लेयर को साइन करने वाले हैं. गोल कीपर
hmm.
इंटरेस्ट मेरे सर के ऊपर से जा रहा है कि लाइक वी हैव केलर हु हैज
Yeah.
परफॉर्म्ड सो वेल लास्ट सीजन. वी मस्ट बी वंडरिंग
Yeah.
हो क्या रहा है, मेरे साथ क्या हो रहा है.
Yeah.
Where is my future? Anyways, but we
Yeah.
will go through the entire squad, try to go through every person in the squad and see where all
Hmm,
do they fit and where do we think that they can bring about a change in the team, and where that
yeah.
can be utilized from sort slide aside. And one thing that Ishan you mentioned very rightly on Twitter today कि टीम बदली नहीं है बट जो
हाँ.
सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट कैरेक्टर है इस टीम का वो
Yeah.
बदल गया है, जो
वो
है
बदल
हमारे
गया.
कोच.
Yeah.
Right, so
Yeah.
that will be an interesting take on how he thinks he can utilize these players. So we will go through. And उसके पहले एक also हमारे हमारे मैचेस थे अभी दो रिसेंटली, दो फ्रेंडलीज,
Hmm,
उनके
hmm.
स्क्वाड्स का एनालिसिस इन अ वे आई वांटेड टू डू विद यू कि on
Yeah.
what basis you think that we picked that particular
Hmm.
squad, what is going on
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
mind of the coach,
Coach.
considering that
Yeah.
you think from that similar
Yeah.
mindset. So
Yeah.
let me just quickly, sorry again guys, sorry, you'll have to bear with me because I don't know how to do these things.
That's
Right, so
okay.
I will bring out the screen. Right, so this was हमारा पहला match.
Yes.
um
Sevilla.
Yes. You all can see the screen, right? Allison, Van Dijk, Diaz, Bosley, McAllister, Salah, Jota, Simicas, Gravenberg, Trent, and Kwanzaa were the starting people. क्या था आपका thought इस particular lineup को देखने के बाद?
So I think this is like first to start off. I think Sevilla is a tougher opponent than Las Palmas. So I think this lineup was made keeping in mind Ipswich on the weekend, and this is probably going to be the lineup which is going to face Ipswich.
Hmm.
So I felt he kind of thought कि मेरा starting 11 क्या रहेगा Ipswich के against. मैं वो
Hmm.
11 रखूं और जो बाकी प्लेयर्स हैं मैं उनको दूसरी टीम में डालूंगा. आप
हाँ.
अगर दूसरी टीम देखोगे, दूसरी टीम में you have Konate who himself mentioned that he was not 100% fit in the Euros as well, and he was coming back from that long tournament. And then you had
Hmm.
Robertson also in that lineup, who was also recovering from an injury. So yeah, that
Hmm.
there's the lineup. And again,
Yeah.
Nunes was coming back from Copa America. Okay. And if you see, rest are more or less like apart from I would say Elliot and again Gakpo was coming back from a long Euro. And yeah,
Hmm.
apart from them, like we can see that this is more of gonna be our squad options. So he
Hmm.
has
Hmm.
kind of made the lineups, in my opinion, may basically keeping in mind the Ipswich game because it's also
Hmm.
important for these set of 11 players to play a game together. Like training to theek hai, but like you can
Hmm.
train in numerous different ways. But till the time those
हाँ जी.
11 players play together, वो एक केमिस्ट्री एक बॉन्ड वो सेट नहीं हो पाएगा सो आई थिंक इट वाज जस्ट
Hmm.
टू गेट दैट chemistry going in between the players due to which I think this was made but apart from that I don't think there was much into it agar aap pucho
Hmm.
like this team has a different flavor or that team has a different flavor I don't think so because more or less we were playing in a very similar fashion
Yeah.
आई फील ऑल्दो सेकंड गेम का अगर आपने सेकंड गेम देखी होगी और दोनों गेम्स देखी होगी तो आपने नोटिस किया होगा सेकंड गेम थोड़ी स्लो थी और मतलब इट वाज एट अ वेरी डिफरेंट पेस देन द फर्स्ट वन
Yeah. Yeah.
right which I think was mostly because of the fact that most of the players in this lineup are still a bit tired from their international commitments and like as I
Yeah.
said like couple of them were injured as well so वो थोड़ा सा I think उस चीज का hangover भी था otherwise अगर if like these players only if they would have been like fitter we would have won that game easily as well.
Yeah. Most likely, yes. Robertson misses the first game.
Yes, yes. I mean, see, this is
Yes.
again very interesting because yeah, Robertson is a very important leader on the pitch. ठीक है, so this would be very
Hmm.
interesting to see. Uh, somebody has to step up because अगर आपने मतलब मैच देखोगे ना, of course हमारे पास पिच
Hmm.
साइड ऑडियो नहीं होता apart from the पैंडेमिक वाले दिनों में जो आ रहा था जब कमेंट्री मतलब फैंस ही नहीं होते थे
G.
तो रॉबर्टसन आप एटलीस्ट पिच पे देखोगे हमेशा ही शाउटिंग which is very
Hmm.
important when you're playing especially against
Hmm.
big teams right because you have
Yeah.
to be on your toes and sometimes you miss things and somebody who's behind you is telling you what to do it kind of helps you it's like your safety net so
Yep.
yeah
Yeah.
that ways Robertson will be missed pretty much yeah
Yeah. Yeah. So before we
yes
go and start the player by player analysis, I'll just take a couple of questions. Ayush is also here. Hi, Lala.
hey Lala
Ishan, for you, do you think Curtis is good enough to be a starter for the squad? In my opinion, he's great squad option, but I don't see him as a starter.
okay so for Curtis I think this is a very important season for him. Okay, very, very important season for him. I say this because Curtis, as a player, likes to be on the ball.
Hmm.
Okay, he's one of those, uh, one of those new age English midfielders who is very technical, who likes to be on the ball, and he wants to dribble.
Hmm.
Right, like अगर आप पिछली generation of English midfielders देखोगे, most of them did not want to dribble that much. They were workhorses they could have put in a tackle etc but this new age of technical English players which are coming for example Foden Bellingham Rice Curtis Cole Palmer Saka etc all these players like to be on the ball and
Hmm.
like these are all from the same more or less the same age group as well so and Slot prefers a midfield which is more into the recycling creation part, whereas Klopp's midfield was more of stopping transitions, workhorses, most of the times covering space for the fullbacks. So I mean that's why it's a very different start for the whole team because systems have changed completely, right? So even though the squad is same, now the roles of each and every player is gonna be tweaked and that is why I say it's going to be a very interesting season. maybe in some terms a make or break for Curtis, because he's now at an age where he has good amount of appearances, and I think if he matures enough with the ball this season, I think he can become a starter. I mean, he at least, I mean, again, like starter to midfield may should be rotated, because like we'll be playing what 50, 60 games, तो हम खेलेंगे ही खेलेंगे. So I think at least he should be starting, say, roughly 25, 30 games. I
Hmm.
think, because
Makes
Slot's style suits him a lot.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Quick two questions.
Hmm.
Tenzing, yes, you can expect similar content before the WSL also starts. And if you know of people who have good knowledge of the WSL, please do let me know about them so that we can call them on the podcast and make sure that we are doing
Yes.
justice with the content. And then Neha is also here. Hi Neha. Do you think Darwin can improve under Slots this season, especially after that
Yes.
match, the first friendly?
Yes. See, again, first friendly was like, वो जब हम क्रिकेट खेलते थे ना, बोलते थे ना, प्रैक्टिस बॉल फेंक दो पहले, टेस्ट बॉल फेंक दो बस खेलने से पहले, लाइक मेन ओवर से, वही वही बात थी पहला वाला फ्रेंडली. बिकॉज आई फील वो यार वो कोपा से वापस आया, प्रॉब्ली हैड जस्ट वन ट्रेनिंग सेशन अंडर हिम. एंड क्या होता है ना कि आई वाज एक्चुअली टॉकिंग टू ऋत्विक ऑन व्हाट्सएप आफ्टर the match, both the matches, and he mentioned one thing that he said that most of the players still have Klopp's tactics in their muscle memory,
Hmm.
which is
Hmm.
so true, because like you have been
Yep.
playing in a certain style for so many years, certain kind of instructions for so many years, to unlearn that and learn new things is tough and will take time. So I mean, I feel if you see what he did with Feyenoord as well, Slot, like he has improved all individuals along with the team,
Hmm.
right? So I feel Nunes will benefit more under Slot as compared to Klopp,
Hmm.
because he's one of those strikers who needs a lot of chances. And for that kind of a striker, if there's a creative midfield who will give him more and more chances, it will be better, in my opinion, rather than him like trying to like I mean, I wouldn't want to like compare. I might sound like wrong here, but I mean, it's a different thing for a striker to just try to create chances by pressing as compared to a midfielder giving him a ball. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
they're two, because the mentality when you get the chance is different. Like एक में mentality में आप भागते हुए जा रहे हो, एक में you're just calmly making a run. So
Huh.
वो थोड़ा change हो जाता है उसमें. So I feel Darwin should benefit ideally under Slot. Yes.
You got that answer, Neha. So now we will go ahead and do what we like the intention of the
Yes.
podcast was
Yes.
to
Yes.
go
Yes. Yes.
through all the player, the squad list and
Squad.
just check.
Yeah.
Yes, sorry guys. Again, as I said, कि थोड़ा time दे दें आप मेरे को to just quickly understand.
Figure
Okay,
out how to get that screen.
get that done.
Yes.
Yeah, fine. Let's
Yes.
start with the second
Yeah.
team then. Like, I'm
Okay.
sorry, I'm not able to
Yeah.
figure that out. So yes.
That's
So
okay.
we
That's
had
okay.
Kelleher, we had Endo, Konate, Nunes. So let's start with Kelleher. What are your views on Kelleher?
Hmm.
And we'll try to keep it very crisp. Huh? It will be like
Yeah.
a
Yeah. Yeah.
1 minute
One
thing.
minute thing. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I
So let's
think
start with Kelleher.
with Kelleher, I think if he's not being sold,
Hmm.
best number two, hands down.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, ideally speaking, if you ask me, I would send him on a 2-year loan to a good team
Hmm.
and not go after Madashvili, whatever his name is, however you pronounce it. I know he's also great, but Kelleher is on a different level. His ball play is amazing. His reflexes one on one all are like really, really good. All he needs is more game time, which he should
Yeah.
get at a team. You just loan him out. You have Jaros as number two and just keep it ticking.
Yeah. But considering the number of games that we have this season and what Keller brought on board with
Mm,
the kind of
mm,
performance that he did, do you think
mhm.
that we should sell him? We should even consider it?
No, I mean, ideally speaking, no. But again, he wants to leave because he wants game time, which is absolutely fair, keeping in mind the kind of performances he had last season. So from a
Yeah.
player perspective, I totally get that and I respect that, you know.
Yeah.
But again, if the right bid comes, only then they'll sell. So that's
Yeah.
the whole
Of
point.
course.
Although again, like I
Yeah.
would say, like do something like what Chelsea did with Courtois, like loaned him out for 2 years at Atletico. Do something like that. Find a
Hmm.
club who wants Kelleher, and 2 years is a very good time for him to develop. And
Yeah.
then you don't know what happens with Allison till then. I mean, I would love to have Allison for as long as
Southeast
possible. Like,
advantage.
yeah. So I don't want to sell Allison ever. He's like the best goalkeeper ever, in my opinion. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, just save your interest, protect your interests. That's what I feel.
Yeah. Okay. Now, Endo, now I'm going to time her, Ishan,
Yeah.
in 26
See, I,
minutes.
I stopped.
In
I
26
stopped.
minutes.
You got
Yeah.
another question
I'm going
in.
to time myself too. So I will not ask you
Yes,
this
yes,
silly question.
yes. Okay.
Endo.
A good squad option, very good squad option to keep, because in some games, you would want to rest your other midfielders, also keeping in mind there will be injuries as well. And in games when you'll be having back-to-back games, there will be a time when we would be leading, say at the 75th or 80th minute, and you would want
Hmm.
to rest one of your creative midfielders, say for example a
Yeah.
McAllister. You sub McAllister off, get Endo, protect that lead. He will be okay.
Hmm.
He doesn't mind putting tackles in. He doesn't mind getting a yellow card. He's completely okay with that. And
Hmm.
we saw that he doesn't loses his discipline so easily. So yeah, I think very good
Yeah.
squad option. And also leader, very important thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Konate. You can also talk
Oh,
about maybe the positions that they can manage, also Konate.
oh yeah. So for Endo, it will of course be in the double pivot center mid, yeah, and nothing else for him. With respect to Konate, I think again it will probably. I don't think he'll start in August. I really don't think. I think he should be keeping in mind his injury history. He should not be started in the first 2 3 games in August because he said that he wasn't 100%. So rather use this time to get him 100% fit and then slowly get him back into the starting lineup. Amazing player, no doubts about it, and I think he will improve even further under Slot, because Slot has a really good history of improving centre backs as well. I think he'll slightly get even better with his passing under Slot, I feel.
Yunus, we've already spoken a little bit
Yeah,
about
yeah.
Yunus. Do you
So
want to
we
add on to
have
it?
no nothing. I think I spoke
Good.
everything about Nunes. Yeah.
Jones, do you want to speak anything more about Jones?
The only thing I would like to speak about Jones is that I think he is due to the history with how the different kind of roles he played with Klopp. I think if required, he can also play that recycling midfielder in the double pivot, rather than just being
Hmm.
one of those more creative, more progressive outlets. He can still just keep it very simple, just keep the ball passing around. So that's a very good option to have, because Jones' natural instinct is a bit attacking, and he has also learned under Klopp how to be you know very pragmatic and take it easy, play it safe as well.
Yeah. Harvey Elliott.
I think you miss Gakpo. Yeah, you
Oh,
miss Gakpo in
yeah.
the
Sorry. Yes,
yeah.
yes.
It's
And while I was
okay.
in Gak was one person I actually wanted to know more about.
Oh,
What
okay.
kind of season do you think Gak was gonna have?
Again, I
In the
think
position maybe.
yeah, I think again he'll be back to left, right, forward, or played as a false nine only and only if like shit hits the roof. उसके बिना उसको मत खिलाओ उधर. Like it's not his best position. He can play good, no doubts, but not the best position for him. And yes, I think
Hmm.
Gakpo would be really good because अगर आप देखोगे in the past couple of years, not couple of years, but probably like 1.5 years, even in Klopp's system, we shifted from players who would run into space. Like आपको अगर याद होगा, हम लोग इतनी पहले लॉन्ग बॉल्स खेलते थे, माने के लिए, सलाह के लिए थे, और वो स्पेस में भागते थे.
Hmm.
But there was this
Hmm.
change which happened with wherein we got players जिनको आप पैर पे बॉल दो. We call them ball to feet players and ball to space players. Okay, so Gakpo,
Hmm.
Diaz are more of ball to feet players, right? And these
Hmm.
kind of players will be really good under slot, right?
Hmm.
Because slot likes intricate passing, like very similar to
Hmm.
Guardiola. Uh, Very intricate passing, पैर पे खेलो, like दो टच में पास निकालो, थ्रू बॉल डालो, रन मारो. Very
Hmm.
very intricate passing and patterns. But at the same time, I think both Diaz and Gakpo ka rotation in that position will be really, really, really important. Because again, you have to see,
Hmm.
for example, if somebody has a more defensive right back, you might probably go with Diaz because his trickery will help in that, his flair will help in that. But if there is a right back who likes to slightly even go ahead, you put Gakpo in and he will find that space because he finds space really well. So I think
What if we don't
Gakpo
have
again.
Diaz?
ओह पता नहीं यार, फिर तो मैं कुछ कह ही नहीं सकता. फिर तो वही बात हो जाएगी, फिर जो भी फिट होगा नियोनी आएगा, फिर नियोनी को खिलाना पड़ेगा वहां पे. तो वैसे अब नियोनी इज लाइक बीइंग touted as the next Alexander Arnold of the academy, so might as well. अभी एक रूमर भी
True.
आया था ना शायद से, like फालतू सा, Diaz to City for 75 or 80 million or something like that.
हाँ, I'm
है ना?
like, ये तो
I'm
नहीं हो
like,
रहा है.
ये तो नहीं होने वाला, ये तो मतलब people should understand कि ये तो बिल्कुल भी नहीं होगा. Like Barca I can still understand and like think okay ठीक है, हाँ the South American player Barcelona Real Madrid I can understand, but City तो कभी नहीं जाए बेचेगा लिवरपूल किसी प्लेयर को.
Yes. Elliot.
Oh, I think the most standout player in the preseason was Elliot. I think he was really, really very good in the small pockets of space. Um,
Hmm.
and what was also very surprising was that in one of the games he played as a false nine. I think it was the
Hmm.
first game only. Betis wala, I think. I might be wrong. So in one of the games he played as a striker, as a false nine, and the way he kind of linked up with the midfield and allowed Salah and Soboslai the space to kind of make runs more inside, because he's not a striker, and
Hmm.
so I feel again this change of coach will also be really good for Elliot, because he's
Hmm.
also like very similar to Curtis. He's a very ball to feet kind of a player, and he likes to, and he's very creative, right?
Hmm.
So it'll be really,
Yeah.
really good for him as well to get in those
Yeah.
pockets, have those small interchange of passes, and then play that. Like we saw that Fabio Carvalho ball, right? Like for that goal
Hmm.
against Arsenal. So, and he tried that again, I think, to Gakpo in this last Palmas wala game, but वो ball थोड़ी पीछे रह गई थी. Same ball, एकदम same, almost same position. So he tried the same thing. So yeah, I think Elliot will have a lot of assists for sure this season because he is hitting those sweet pockets of space and playing the right pass at the right time.
Yeah. Robo.
Oof. So I mean, again, like I get a lot of flack for this, but Robo has been declining for the past 1.5 years. And
Hmm.
I mean, I really like the guy. I really like what he has achieved, but I think so many games over the period of so many years under Klopp has kind of, मतलब टांगे जवाब दे रही हैं उसकी. और जब टांगे जवाब देती है ना, for a player who has dependent upon who's dependent upon pace for a long time, initially बहुत प्रॉब्लम होती है उसे, because now he
Hmm.
has to rely more on his IQ as compared to his speed.
Hmm.
So that's why you see, like, a lot of times, a lot of good players who have always been fast, when their speed decreases, say, for example, like a Marcelo,
Hmm.
okay, who was very speedy, but when speed declines, you see individually their performances decrease,
Hmm.
right? And I know people will put stats in front of me and everything, but everything is not stats. Like you see small situations where uh, the game can change. Like there have been lots of instances in the past 2 seasons where Robo, because he can't catch up, he knows, so he'll commit a
Hmm.
foul, and
Hmm.
from that foul we will concede,
Hmm.
or probably from that foul we'll give out a corner and then we'll concede, or something like this has happened fair few times.
Hmm.
And what that brings is that, this, like, you kind of become like this thing, like, team will start thinking, the players start thinking, okay, if Robo is and I have to cover him,
Hmm.
and if he has to cover, he might, his whatever his position should be, he might shift a bit more towards the left or whatever, and that would create further more space.
Hmm.
And again, like how Slot played in the preseason, if you would have seen, Simikas was kind of tucking in and becoming like a hybrid of, third center back slash center mid, थोड़ा आगे वाला position पे
He
था
looked
वो.
more involved.
हाँ, like थोड़ा central था.
Huh, huh.
And I don't think Robo can perform that role. I don't think even Tsimikas can perform that role really well. Both of them are like very line hugging fullbacks. So it will be interesting to see what happens
Hmm.
with Robertson, because अगर कोई भी स्कॉटलैंड की टीम को फॉलो करता है तो स्कॉटलैंड में भी they have Robertson and what's that guy's name? Arsenal wala Tierney, Kieran Tierney. I think he's
Hmm.
gone back to Scotland now. So they play a back five. Robertson plays as the wing back, and Tierney plays as the left centre back in the
Hmm.
back three. So I mean, again, like Tierney is really good on attack, okay, but still Robertson is preferred there because we know, like the manager knows that Robertson is better in attacking and as a wing back role. He's better that way as compared to like a defender of sorts. But again, I'm not saying that we should sell him or anything. He definitely has a role to play, and of course, he can like understand this new role and can change and kind of deliver. Of course, that can also happen. But from from today's perspective, I think it's going to be really tough, really tough with Robertson.
Hmm.
So ideally, I would have gone for like a left back slash left center back, a player who can play both positions. So, yeah.
So you took a lot of time to talk about Robo, which is completely all right. Now it's time for Netflix. What are your thoughts on?
Sell,
You've not
please
really,
sell.
not, not
Uh,
really.
Hi, matlab, why I don't get it. Why are we looking for like a 15 million, 10 million evaluation? यार जो मिल रहा है बेचारे को जाने दो ना, खेलने दो ना कहीं पे. क्यों बैठा हुआ है वो बेचारा? मतलब
मेरी
second
मतलब
half, मतलब I don't know, but like think from his perspective also, na. The guy signed with LFC, left his university scholarship in US, signed with LFC to play, and I get it, he played one season, and that one season he saved us as well. But now we are at a point that we should move him on. Whatever bid comes, you respect the player. Like screw respecting the bid or whatever or the other club.
yeah,
Respect the player. Like let him play also. No, he's 27 and he's
yeah.
still playing with kids. He's still playing with kids. Why
Yeah,
are you
I was
doing
also
that to
very
him?
surprised because when I found out he's 27, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
हो क्या रहा है भैया आपको आगे मतलब like normal
Yeah, I know,
conversation.
I know, I know. वही तो मतलब बेचो यार थोड़ा सा पैसा रखो अपनी जेब में और चलो.
ना ही हम बेच रहे हैं ना ही हम खरीद रहे हैं वो तो अलग ही बात हो रही है बट नाउ इट्स
Oh,
टाइम
stop.
सॉरी
और नहीं, कोई नहीं बोलो.
नाउ इट्स
Ben
टाइम फॉर
Doak.
बेंडो
I think there were shouts some a week back or something like that. We are looking to sell him, and again, just like Bobby Clark, I get it because Doak has just flatlined. He has done. I don't think he has improved since he has come to Liverpool, and a major factor for that has been his injury. Uh, Again, because when he came back from injury, there was also a lot of pressure on the team itself to kind of grind results because the main senior team में तब काफी injuries भी चल रही थी. So I think थोड़ा timing और bad luck था इसके साथ with Doak because he never got that rhythm. Like again, I was talking about this to Ritwik a few days back, and I told him कि first he had that zip of pace जिससे वो beat कर देता था defender को. Like preseason में he's unable to do that as well. I get it, it's preseason, but say for example, out of 10 times, at least beat them 5 times, right? that percentage has gone down a lot. And so because of that, I understand the reasoning why uh, the management is looking to sell him or loan him. And it's completely fair, I feel like. And I feel like if the thing that is the best thing to do, then yeah, sure. Because I don't think he will provide a lot which others can't already.
And next on the list is Connor
Oh,
Bradley. We will not talk about the substitutes, Abhi. We will talk
okay,
about the
yeah.
substitutes only if
Uh,
time permits.
नहीं नहीं सब्स्टिट्यूट्स में कुछ है भी नहीं ऐसा
कुछ है
इंटरेस्टिंग
नहीं, बस वो ट्रेन ही होनी था दूसरे मैच में, बाकी तो हाँ जी.
हाँ हाँ so Bradley I think yes I think definitely keep him in the squad and I think in some matches if I mean if like you have to kind of rotate Trent best player to have to substitute and also I feel maybe if we have a midfield injury crisis again uh, we might see Trent being shifted into midfield altogether. I mean, again, it's an option. We have seen Southgate do it, so maybe even Slot does it. Although not the best decision, but yeah, maybe if he does that, then we have Bradley to deputize, and he's really good. And we have seen in the preseason as well that he's really really good.
Yeah. Like a couple of days back, I tweeted about this that I am a minimalist and my club is also a minimalist. So like how minimalist people have that problem, na कि मान लो कि like you have certain set of clothes and you mix and match, right? This can go with this.
Hmm.
This Indian
Yeah,
wears
yeah,
the
yeah,
thing can go on this and all. So
yeah,
that's what
yeah,
we also do, right? कि है तो limited.
yeah, yeah.
हम लोगों का
Exactly.
प्रॉब्लम ही अलग है. चेल्सी का प्रॉब्लम ये है कि खिलाएं किसे.
खिलाए
हमारा
किसे
प्रॉब्लम है
हाँ
कि है कहाँ, तो तुम यहाँ
इसको
खेल लोगे.
यहाँ खेल लोगे नहीं आता कोई नहीं यार एक गेम खेलो सीख
हम
जाओगे
सिखाएंगे, हम
हम
सिखाएंगे.
सिखा देंगे
आओ जाओ अकेडमी. That's how it is. Okay guys,
सही में you're absolutely right
we are done with this particular squad. Now we will go on to
yeah
the next one, which is
yes 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 yes
okay, adding.
Heavy. Hmm.
Yes, Alison, we've already spoken a little about, but
Yes.
Alison gives me this vibe. No, I don't know why, Ishan, but I do feel that that godly vibe from Alison. That he's
Yeah.
somehow he comes with a different sort of a spiritual and energy.
Yeah. I
To me,
mean,
he
I
resembles
think,
Jesus also. I mean, like
yeah,
I don't know
he
how people
is.
will react to it, and
And
but he
and
resembles
and
Jesus.
like if you see him, like if somebody sees him for the first time, they can't guess that he's a footballer, first and foremost.
Yeah.
Nobody will be able to guess. Like, and he has this aura on his face of a very, very intense but a soft person, right? And
Yes.
that is such a strong thing to have as
Yeah.
a person.
Yeah.
And I think there's no goalkeeper I've seen who is better than him in one-on-ones, like ever. Like
Kind of
I've
Greek god. Exactly, Piyush.
yes, 100%. I think like I've been watching football for a long time, like probably 15, 20 years, and I haven't seen any goalkeeper better than him in one-on-ones at least. Nobody comes close. Nobody. He's
Yeah.
like so good. So yeah, I would not exchange Allison with anybody. Anybody. Yeah.
Okay. VVD.
Oh man, just give him a new contract, man. Just give him a new contract. That is it. He's the bedrock. He's the bedrock of our defense. Like we need to rotate him again. Very, very important because age बढ़ रही है. He has already played like a lot of games. यूरोस था, वर्ल्ड कप था,
Yeah.
प्रीमियर लीग, यूरोपा, सब बैक टू बैक वो बस खेले जा रहा है, खेले जा रहा है, खेले जा रहा है, एंड his
He
age is
wasn't
also
rested at all.
like this is the biggest problem I had with Klopp that if he thinks that this 11 is the best or this player is the best, he would just keep on playing him till the time that player just wears out.
Hmm.
You have like in the Premier League तो you can't do that. Like Bundesliga में आप कर सकते हो एक tournament कम है 38 की जगह 34 games है but PL में it becomes really troublesome because fatigue catches upon injuries catch up on because of that. So yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, Van Dijk new contract.
Yeah. Diaz, we've already spoken about, but
Yeah,
any few more
I
points?
think I don't think he should be sold, not at least right now. I think we should kind of see how he performs this season. I don't think there is, to be honest, I don't think there is scope to be like scope for any player to be sold because we are so thin squad wise. But still, even if थोड़े और player होते हमारे पास, I don't think Diaz should be sold. I think he still has a lot to offer, and he had a very solid Copa America as well. So he would be really confident going into the new season.
Now it's my favorite Sobo's turn.
Yeah.
What are your views on Sobo, Ishan?
I think we will see like a lot of goals from Soboslai this season. This is what I think because
Ishan,
now
we
he
lost
would
your
be.
voice यार मैं सोबो की बात पे आवाज क्यों गई?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, perfect. So I think you in this season we'll see a lot of goals from
Again, we are losing
Soboslai.
your voice. I think the battery of your headphones is dying, maybe, or I don't know.
No, no, no. I'm
It's
wired.
not a battery, and
I'm
then पता नहीं कुछ हो रहा है, आवाज नहीं आ रहा है, but
Wait, let me just go
can
without
others
headphones.
hear Ishan or not? Or is it
Can you
just me?
guys hear me?
What if like my earphones are dying and I'm blaming it all on you?
I don't know. Can
Now
you
it
hear
was
me
better.
now?
No? Yes. Yes, now we
Better?
can.
Oh, perfect,
Yes.
perfect, perfect. Yeah, so I was saying we'll see Soboslai score a lot of goals this season, I think, because this new position of his, of sorts, like his new starting position in our build-up, is slightly more closer to what he used to play during his Leipzig days.
Hmm.
And I feel that it's a bit more advanced, a bit more. Again, he does the midfield. As I said, slots midfield is more on the creative side as compared to the workhorse or transitional side of Klopp's.
Hmm.
So we'll see a lot more creation, lot more goals from Soboslai, and I think that right center mid spot from roaming from the 10 wala role coming to right center mid or just playing as one of the right center mids in a three-man midfield and taking that half space spot in between the center attacking and the and Salah's position. That is his sweet spot. So I think we'll see a lot more influential Soboslai this season.
Fingers crossed. McAllister.
Yes. Uh, so again, like not buying a six, the biggest hit in our team would be for McAllister because now he'll be made to play a little bit more deeper because of that. And like if you remember the initial games of last season when
Hmm.
McAllister was playing as a six and he was playing the lone six, I think फर्स्ट गेम में आई थिंक उसकी काफी गलतियां हो रही थी
हाँ.
फिर आई थिंक एक गेम में he kind of lost the ball as well which resulted in a goal and of course that Bournemouth game mein he got that silly red card and so yeah I mean it's not his best positions it's a position as it's a makeshift position for him but I think he will do the job for some games but against a high pressing team thoda mushkil ho jayega because like he also does not like to uh, take the ball with the back towards the goal so wo ek thoda sa issue rahega I mean he's not the worst at it but he's not the best at it either so yeah
Hmm.
I mean, if you ask me, I would like McAllister to receive the ball near the halfway line rather than
Yeah.
uh, in near the defensive third or somewhere like that. So because he's more influential there, I mean, I would like him to like get that ball there and like just play sweet little 1-2s and then move the ball forward. That's what he's best at.
Yeah, that's what he's good
So
at. Yeah.
yeah, like last season also we saw as soon
Yeah.
as Endo came, McAllister's game just became so much better.
Yep.
Next, Salah.
Now it's Salah's turn.
Um, I
Mohammed
think
Salah.
I think this is gonna be one of the most toughest seasons for Salah on a personal level. because एक तो contract renew नहीं हुआ है. Second, he maybe I think a lot of us would agree he has lost a bit of pace, especially after that big injury which he had, and that was like his first big injury of his career. So I feel he will again be really good from the on the creative side of things, but as a goal scorer, uh, it will be a very interesting season to see. But again, like I would start him as many games as possible because he is still one of the most potent players which can play on the right as a right forward role.
Yeah. Interestingly, I also agree with you. In fact, I was telling
Hmm.
this to Piyush in the evening that I
Hmm.
have not kept Salah in my FPL this time because
Uh-huh.
I don't know why. I
Yeah.
don't see him. I'm not saying that he will not score a lot of goals. He, of course, will.
Hmm.
But I do
Hmm.
feel that I would want to, observe him for a couple of
Observe things. Yeah.
games first. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Jota's
I
turn now. Yes,
oh
sorry. Go
man,
ahead.
oh man, oh man. If we if somehow this guy remains fit, I think he can easily cross like 20 goals every season. Just fitness ka issue है इस बंदे का. Like we saw the goal against Sevilla. I mean, what
Yeah.
insane technique to hit it on the first time with your weaker foot. And I mean, his both feet are like equally good, but like still hitting it with your left top bins, he is really, really good. And again, like another good thing with Jota is that he can also play the left wala rola, just in case we need that. He can play off the left, off the striker wala role as well. And yeah, so again, keep rotating him with Nunes, keep him fit, and probably we'll get like 20 goals from him for sure.
What is up with Simicas, Ishan? Where do you see
Uh,
Simicas in this season?
uh, I mean, Simicas is like one player which I feel is really important for the dressing room. This is my opinion, okay? I think he's one of those funny players who keeps everything very light-hearted in the dressing room and is like that unsaid hero in, who keeps things always happy in the dressing room. That's how I feel looking at all the, training videos and everything.
आप क्या ला
So,
रहे हैं टीम में? हम एंटरटेनमेंट ला रहे
entertainment ला रहे
हैं.
हैं.
ये बात. यही.
बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्टर है. मैं मोराल बच्चों का बड़ा रख रहे हैं, अच्छे से रख रहे हैं, और क्या इससे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज क्या
इससे इम्पोर्टेंट चीज क्या
है?
है?
और क्या?
Yes. Now it's time for Ryan Gravenberch. What are your
uh,
thoughts on Ryan?
again, this is like a make or break season for Ryan Gravenberch, I feel, because he has been in the scene for a long time now as a kid who could be like one of the best midfielders, ball carrying midfielders, and he has not lived up to his hype at all. Like Bayern, may I can still understand that because it was his first big move, away from his boyhood club. थोड़ा time लगता है, young age, everything. But then coming to Liverpool, being under Klopp, a manager who always, will have an arm around your shoulder and help you in everything. Now is the time for him to leave everything, whatever's happened behind, and just play, just focus on his game. Like, I said this last season that, the worst thing about Gravenberch is that once he loses the ball, he does not go back. And that is not the standard at Liverpool. That is just not the standard at Liverpool. Like, and you're not it's not that you're a strike. Like I have seen, like, I don't remember which game it was, but it was last to last season, I think. There was one, like in the corner, there was it was our corner, and the opposition team started a counter, and I saw Nunes sprint all the way back to our own defense to stop that counter. That is what is needed at Liverpool, right? And at or for that matter at any big club. And if you lose the ball in midfield and you're not running back, that is not, I think that's not the best thing to have. And of course, talent is there, no doubts about it. Again, a very ball to feet kind of a player who likes to carry the ball, who likes to dribble the ball and just play one, two passes and move the ball along. But again, like the attitude has to get better. He looks very casual at times on the pitch. That's the only problem I have with Gravenberch. But yeah, uh, could be a very interesting season for him. Yeah.
Now it's turn for TA's evaluation. Number 66.
What can I say? Like again, give him the new contract. That's it. And like, but just protect this guy. Just protect this guy from like first protect him from Bellingham. Don't let him sweet talk him into anything
मेरे
else.
को वो पिक्चर्स देख के डर लगने लग गया था यार
I
कि वो
know,
क्या
right?
है
Like पहले मेरे को
दो
ऐसे लगता
झूठ
था कि till last season, all those pictures meant, oh, Trent is trying to convince Bellingham to join Liverpool.
yeah
ठीक है, ऐसे हो रहा है. But अब उल्टा सोच के ना, मतलब ऐसे फटने लग जाती है.
absolutely
But yeah, but yeah, again, give him the contract, man. He is the best creator in probably the Premier League right now, along with De Bruyne, of course. Like, of course, De Bruyne is on a different level also, but like very, very similar with respect to creative profiles. So, yeah.
yeah Kwanzaa
Kwanzaa, I think again, like one of the best young centre backs in the world right now. One of the best. He has everything in him. Everything. Like,
that's a big
like,
compliment in the world
yeah,
we say
yeah. I
and how
absolutely. One
old is
of,
Kwanzaa
I think he just turned 20. I think so. I'm not sure, but I think he just turned 20. And he can pass. He can give you short passes. He can give you long passes. He has the pace to recover. And his standing tackle is pretty good. His sliding tackle can get better, but it's still for a
hmm.
20-year-old, it's pretty good. His heading is great. But the best thing and the most important thing for a center back is the positional awareness, which is amazing.
Hmm.
That is something I feel which is very tough to teach to a center back after the age of say 21, 22. वो फिर experience से आदमी खुद ही समझ जाता है. But अगर somebody has that from the very younger age, then that player is destined for greatness, I feel.
Yeah. And the
Yeah.
last player that I want to discuss is Trey. Last season when he
Hmm.
made that
Yeah.
made that first team अपना उसने जो first match खेला Klopp का hug and all those pictures
Yeah.
I imagine that like a couple of months later you would see him playing such an important role for the team and he's still so young.
Just turned 17.
Yeah, I mean
I
imagine.
mean, whenever some kid breaks onto the scene, no, uh, I always kind of start thinking, what was I doing at that age? And like, I was in
बोर्ड एग्जाम्स के लिए
11th
पढ़ाई
board
करो
exams, 11th में थे तब हम लोग, like we were just figuring out कि
2 साल और पढ़ना
wall
है
पे
बेटा उसके बाद लाइफ सेट है
हाँ, बस 12th तक बस बोर्ड एग्जाम कर दो, उसके बाद सब सही है. फिर कॉलेज जॉब, बस बेटा ये 4 साल इंजीनियरिंग के करो, फिर तो जॉब है, फिर तो पैसे मिलेंगे, ऐश ही ऐश है. ऐश नहीं आई अभी तक, बाकी सब आ गया वैसे. So yeah, I feel and पता है नियोनी का सबसे बढ़िया चीज मुझे प्री सीजन में ये लगा कि the first game he played as one of the players in the pivot, in the double pivot, right? In the holding midfielder role, which is not his position. He has always played either as a second striker, like or as a 10 type of a player, or as a left wide forward, always in the academy games. And I've seen a fair few academy games, and he's always played a very attacking role, never a central midfielder, a player who gets the ball from the defense wala role. And in that game, he just looked like, huh, I've played this all my life. Very natural. Like
Very
laga
nice.
hi nahi he's out of place, which is which kind of tells you the kind of football IQ he has,
Hmm.
right? Like this is like Milner ho gaya. Milner could have played at any position, and I think apart from centre back, he has played at every position in his career. I mean, and again, why are you able to play in all of these positions? Because football IQ, and the same is with Neoni. Neoni has a very good football IQ, and like with all his runs and his passing, you can see that.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think I'm expecting like this to be like a very important season for Neoni. I think he will get like at least 7, 8 starts and few more subs appearances, which will do him a lot of good. Yeah.
Nice. Any other player from the academy do you want to mention, maybe?
From the academy, I don't think any other player will come up. I don't think Nalo can come up. He's not ready for first senior team yet. Uh, I think I don't know whether to count Vandenberg as academy or senior team. Either way, I think we should just sell him and take the money because इससे ज़्यादा उसका वो मतलब his value won't be this high after this.
Hmm.
I mean,
Hmm.
and I don't think he can fit into slot system. He doesn't have that great short passes.
Hmm.
But at the same time, again, like any other player, if he can play, if he can, improve in that department, apart from that, he's pretty good. So yeah,
Yeah.
sell him, get the money, I would say, and invest in a six, please. Very, very. फिलिप्स को
Yes.
बेचो, वैंडनबर्ग को बेचो, फटाफट बेचो, कुछ तो पैसा लाओ अपनी जेब में, एक सिक्स खरीद लो।
पैसे लाओ। यस।
वही तो
आई थिंक
यार,
हमारे हमारे हमें हमें कोई फाइनेंशियल फ्रॉड वगैरह का कोई केसेस होने वाला नहीं है हम पे। हम कुछ
कभी नहीं
खर्च नहीं
भाई,
करते।
चांस ही नहीं है, क्या खर्चे ही नहीं है, खर्चे है
हम
ही
ये
नहीं भाई। लाइक माइजर प्रो मैक्स अल्ट्रा, मतलब पैसे खर्चने ही नहीं है, मतलब।
Yeah.
Or I was just reading just before we got onto the podcast. Athletic just posted an article saying that Arsenal are in advanced talks to sign Mikel Merino from Sociedad. And मैं कह रहा हूँ यार, उन्होंने कैलाफियोरी भी ले लिया, अब वो मेरिनो भी ले लेंगे, उनके पास ऑलरेडी डेक्लेन राइस है जो उन्होंने 100 मिलियन का लिया था। So I was just thinking यहाँ पे मतलब
ये
पच्चीस
हमारा
तीस मिलियन
न्यूनेस ही
के
2 साल
प्लेयर।
से अपने 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 आप को जस्टिफाई नहीं कर पा
सही में,
रहा।
like I think with respect to sixes, there are few players which we should look into, but again, क्या बोले?
Yeah, क्या बोले? Well, this was a fun conversation, Ishan. 1 hour.
Thank you.
काफी बातें
Yeah.
कर ली हमने. Thank you so much
Yes. You're
for
welcome. Thank
coming on
you.
board
Thank you
today,
for
and thank
having
you
me.
to all the people who joined us in the chat today and who are still watching it.
Yes.
Thank you so,
Yes.
so much. And we
Thank
will have
you.
Ishan again on the podcast for sure.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes, as I said, he's an in-house expert and football coach
No
and
expert. No
guide
expert.
and
Yes, I'm
spiritual
just a
buddy also.
coach, but no, yes, yes, for sure, always. But I'm no expert yet. No expert. I wouldn't call myself an
Yeah,
expert.
he's
I'm just
being
learning.
humble guy.
No, that's the truth. That's the truth.
Okay, let's end this and good night, guys. Thank you so
Yes.
much for
Good
joining,
night. Thank
and you
you.
will never walk alone.
Yes, you love. Okay.